Hey, welcome to Full Plate. I'm Rebecca Rainier. We've got two really good ideas to make your plate a little lighter when it comes to the time it takes to get things done. We're going to talk about a book that says 12 minutes can change your life. And we're going to talk about how to cook some things in a kind of easier, faster way that I'm kind of intimidated by. Stay with us on Full Plate.
It's like I'm seeing all the blue skies, and I'm walking on the edge tonight. It feels so right, and I'm glad you're here. Glad you're here, Rebecca Rainier.
Hey, welcome to Full Plate. And we have Becky Robinson here. And you are the owner of a website, weavinginfluence.com. But what we're going to talk about today is a concept of yours. It's an ebook that people can get. Name of the ebook.
12 minutes to change your day.
12 minutes to change your day. Talk about in general, what does that mean? We're all so busy and finding any time to do anything is difficult. So how does 12 minutes change our day?
Well, I'm a busy business owner. I have 3 daughters, so I'm always looking for kind of hacks to make my life a bit easier. And the title of the book kind of came from an experience I had a couple summers ago when I wanted to write a blog post and my kids wanted to go outside and play. So I decided to set the timer on my iPhone for 20 minutes, and I was going to give myself only 20 minutes to write the blog post. Well, that day I figured out that I could do it in 12 minutes. And from that, I've kind of applied that concept of using small bursts of time to get things done to other areas of my life.
So the bigger picture, and we've got the kind of cover right there was on the screen. The bigger picture is you say that 12 minutes can change several areas of your life. So, you know, talk about what things can, if you devote yourself 12 minutes to something, what can we affect?
Sure. Well, first of all, 12 minutes can change your perspective. So if you're really strapped for time and you can take 12 minutes to do something, quite often you find that you can do more in that burst of time than you expected that you could. And so once you've kind of done that, it gives you momentum to get even more done, which could change your attitude. Once your attitude changes, if you look at things in a new way, that could change your whole day. And if day after day you change the way you view your life, then that could change your life, ultimately.
So that's what we're saying is of those things, we got that on the screen, 12 minutes can change your perspective, your attitude. So when we're talking 12 minutes, what 12 minutes do you use every day? Do you try to get up early? Do you try to...
Yeah, you know, I use every 12 minutes I can find. So as an example, I roll out of bed usually around 5 a.m. And I tell myself if I can just get 12 minutes on the treadmill, I'm going to feel a whole lot better the rest of the day. And most of the time, once I start that 12 minutes, well, I already have more than a mile in after 12 minutes. So why don't I just finish 2 or 3?
You've already down the path, finished the path.
Exactly.
So one of the questions you ask in the beginning is, what is your attitude towards time? For me, my attitude towards time is that there's never enough of it. I'm always running out of it. I'm always behind it. I mean, I have a bad attitude when it comes to time, I guess.
You know, I think that's a common problem. And I think one of the things that I try to remind myself of frequently is that focus, consistent effort makes a difference. So whether it's focus, consistent effort that I'm going to use to market my business on Twitter for 12 minutes every morning, or whether it's 12 focused minutes with my kids in the afternoon to really read with them or play a game, all of those little bursts of time can really change the whole shape of how your life is. So instead of thinking about the scarcity of time, just think about, you know, you have the same amount of time as everyone else, and how are you going to use it to the fullest?
Well, and you put a number up there that 12 minutes can actually equal 73 hours, which seems incredible to me. So just do your math a little bit. 12 minutes equals 73 hours.
Yes, so if you were to take 12 minutes a day, every single day for an entire year, and focus on a dream or something you want to accomplish that you think you never quite have time for, then across that year, imagine what you could accomplish in 73 hours. So for example, suppose you want to write a book. I did the math, and I'm probably not going to remember it all right now. But I
think we have a screen of it too. So,
yeah, I can write about 500 words in 12 minutes. So 500 words times 365 days, it would equal 3 book-length works. And so those of us who think we just don't have time to do those things that we've been dreaming of doing, if we just took 12 minutes a day, we might be surprised at what we could accomplish.
So, in your case, you spend a lot of the time, it's either parenting or marketing or writing the books. Those are, did you prioritize what you want to get done in those 12 minutes? before you set aside the time?
Well, I think that I use that concept of 12 minutes a lot of times in several bursts throughout my day. For example, you know, at the end of the day, after working all day and being with my kids, I don't ever really want to do the dishes and clean up the kitchen. I'm looking at your beautiful kitchen back here. I wish that mine looked like that. And so sometimes I kind of trick myself and I'll say, well, I'm going to set the timer for 12 minutes and I'll just clean up the kitchen for 12 minutes. And it really doesn't take that long. So often I'm surprised and I think, wow, my kitchen looks so much better in just those 12 minutes.
So what are the distractions in the 12 minutes? I will find that I've frittered away more than 12 minutes on Facebook or more than 12 minutes down a path of Google or down, you know what I mean? Like I find myself losing time when I don't have it to lose. So how do you make sure that you stay focused in that time frame?
So for me, the key is to use a timer. So I use
use a timer?
I use a timer all the time. So the timer is great for two reasons. One is because it can give you permission to spend the time doing something you want. So if you set a timer for 12 minutes and say, I'm just going to have 12 minutes to think and plan my day, then that's freedom in that 12 minutes. Or on the other side, it's kind of the discipline of, okay, I'm going to give myself 12 minutes on this one project, and then I can go on to something else. And so I will quite often use it as a focus mechanism.
Do the kids interrupt your 12 minutes, or do your 12 minutes always happen when they're not around?
That's a really good question. I mean, I think sometimes you can tell kids, you know, hey, mom's going to spend 12 minutes on the treadmill and then we'll do something together. And I guess it depends on the age of the kids and how well you train them.
This is totally sort of related, but one time my kids were little and I had it and I said, Mommy's going in the garage, and I went in the garage, closed the door, and just screamed for a few minutes by myself. Because like, what's Mom's doing? She's just screaming. It's fun. But I mean, I like needed a release of the stress of having small children, and you know. But I can't imagine being able to get that 12 minutes with the little ones around. It's probably better when they're asleep or when they're at school or.
Sure. Well, sometimes you just need to take a break, and so you have to keep trying. And maybe you're not successful the first time, but you just keep working at it.
You keep going. Okay,
Yes.
so let's talk about the 12 minutes can be found on your website, which is Weaving Influence. And what do you do then as you talk about, you know, you're working and you have the kids, but talk about Weaving Influence. What is your career that's, you know, you're trying to focus on marketing your business?
Sure. So about a year ago, I started a social media marketing company, and we work with authors and thought leaders to help them build their online influence and market their books. So we mostly work with authors in the leadership and business space.
And that actually, so if you do go to our website, all the books that you're working with, or most of the books that you're working with, can be found. And there's actually a lot of good nuggets on there of, oh, this is, you know, the one right now I saw is Leadership and the Art of Struggle, how to challenge yourself through adversity, which everyone has got adversity in their lives, even great leaders, and that's how they sort of move on to the next level, is the figuring out of the adversity, not the avoidance of it.
Absolutely. Yeah, we work with some really amazing authors. Stephen Snyder is the author of that book, and he was high up in Microsoft in the early days of the company, and just talked about how adversity has shaped his life. And he tells the story of lots of different leaders and the things they've gone through to get to where they are. So yeah, I learn from every single book I promote. It's amazing.
And then the other one that I thought was kind of interesting too was The Secret of Teams, what great teams know and do. And really, when you're in the family environment, you are on a team. It's the family team. So it's how to get everybody, you know, how you can be a force multiplier.
That's absolutely true. So that book, The Secret of Teams, talks about the 3 key ingredients to a great team.
What are the 3 key ingredients?
Oh, I hope I can remember them. Talent, skill, and building community.
That's perfect. Talent, skill, and building community, which you're doing with Weaving Influence and all of your marketing all these ideas.
Absolutely. I have a team of great women who work alongside me as we serve the authors that we promote. So
excellent. And 12 minutes. Okay, so that's my challenge. It's going to go home after work today and put my timer on for 12 minutes and write that novel. All right. Thank you so much, Becky. I appreciate it. And we've got a link to her website so you can see her book and her concept, and you can go buy the 12 Minutes book as well.
yes, you can.
All right. Stay with us. We're going to cook in a little bit more than 12 minutes.